Wow. What's going on, people? Welcome back to United View. Good morning. Welcome. It's Halloween. It's the 31st of October. If you celebrate Halloween, or you're dressing up, or you're doing your pumpkins, or you're going trick-or-treating, or you don't even care, big up to you.
Yeah.
Big up to you, man. Hope everyone's doing good. Smiles on faces, you know what I mean? Good energy. 1-5-2 last night.
Yes,
Nearly
indeed.
lost count, mate. Nearly lost count. Goals
Oh,
galore.
yeah.
We're such a free-flowing scoring team now, mate. I can't remember.
Difficult sometimes, isn't it? Difficult
mate.
to keep up.
So it's like on the other side.
Yeah.
But no, big up to each and every single one of you. So much news coming through yesterday evening, post game, a little bit today as well, this morning, about Ruben Amorim, because of course it was fantastic night for Rude last night. I'll definitely start by saying that. Really pleased for him. Great atmosphere for him. At the beginning, Stretford End was going for it. I did think it would be more, but on hindsight, no disrespect, Carabao Cup midweek, Leicester supposed to do it. Sunday is the one. That's
the one.
Super Sunday, Chelsea in town. I think we'll as we'll talk in the show today, we'll have a better understanding about when Amorim's coming in, so we know that it's going to be Rude for a few more games, etc., etc. A little bit more settled. So yeah, we're going to be talking about an announcement today, imminent. Hate that word, imminent. We always use it in
Carve was on it yesterday. Carve was on it. Sporting see Ruben as the new special one. You're going, Carve, please. Calm the F down.
But you know what it is, though? He's actually saying stuff that you would say excited, but he is saying it calm. So yeah, we are getting a new special one according to Sporting Fans, should I say?
Yeah.
But yes, we're going to get some info on when we can expect an announcement and what the agreement looks like, when we can expect to see Ruben Amorim here, how long Ruben van Nistelrooy will stay in post for. There's absolutely loads to get through, so let's just get straight into it. Smash a like on the video, peeps. Get in touch if you're new. Remember, you can join the membership as well. We've got nearly 1,000 people watching already, 722. So definitely
got to be a big show. Got to be a big show. Well, it's a big show.
Big show. Yeah.
That's his taunt to show people what he's going to do later on in the match. I can choke slam.
And I really used to take his straps down. Sometimes you get angry. Yeah. What a guy. But yes, it is a big show. And as Lil Yo-Yo said there, he said Whitwell bomber with the eyes. So Whitwell's
We've got it.
It's all going off.
It's all going off indeed, right? There's a lot to get through when it comes to all of this Ruben Amorim stuff. So, to be fair, Jason Burt from The Telegraph was the first with the exclusive, saying Sporting are expected to announce today that they have reached a full agreement to allow Ruben Amorim to leave and become the Manchester United new head coach. It's also expected to be announced as part of an agreement that Amorim will remain in charge for Sporting for the next 3 games and join United during the November international break. Amorim's first game for Manchester United, therefore, is expected to be against Ipswich away on November 24th. United have agreed to pay £10.05 million compensation to Sporting for the head coach, although that will only be confirmed when the announcement is made. If it goes through, that would be €2 million above the release clause of €10 million in Amorim's contract. The extra money, which sources in Portugal insist will be paid, is believed to cover the release of Amorim's backroom staff to work alongside him at United. The extra €2 million would also cover allowing Amorim to leave without giving the required 30-day notice period too. Several Sporting players, though, Flex, are a little bit annoyed because Amorim asked for commitment and loyalty from them in the last transfer window, and he's now leaving with his staff. However, others accept that Manchester United, that offer is just too good to refuse. And he was also possibly, according to Chris Wheeler, set to sign this 2.5-year contract worth £6.5 million with an option of a 12-month extension too. Now, as just referenced, Laurie Whitwell, just in the last few seconds, actually, has released the following article as well, saying that United have reached this agreement with Sporting Lisbon over the hire of Ruben Amorim as the head coach. As kind of Jason Burt said, as part of the deal, he's set to stay with Sporting for the next 3 games, including against Manchester City on Tuesday and Braga on November 10th, meaning he would first take charge of United away against Ipswich. Not a lot of people are going to be watching that City game now, aren't they? A lot of people are going to be watching that City game.
I didn't realise they were playing against them in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Where is it? Is it in Sporting?
I'll double check that in a second.
Let me check. I'll check while you do that.
Laurie says that Sporting were determined to keep hold of Amorim for this crucial period, and United have accepted those terms under the recognition of the 39-year-old's standing at the Portuguese club and a desire for a smooth exit mid-campaign, which of course is not always easy. They carry on by sort of saying the same thing about it's a bit above that release clause to get, obviously, his staff. There have also been conversations around further compensation to allow the departures of the staff Amorim has earmarked to join him, namely these first-team coaches, Emmanuel Ferro, Adio Candido, and Carlos Fernandez, as well as goalkeeping coach George Vital and a sports scientist. It's interesting because we only just got a new goalkeeping coach in the summer, actually, as well. Amorim wants a satisfactory departure from the club he called home for 4 years, conscious of the bond established with the supporters in 2 league title wins, and United were open to such diplomacy given the season is underway, and Ruud van Nistelrooy is capable of stepping up as an interim manager. Chief Executive Omar Barada and Sporting Director Dan Ashworth have been in Lisbon leading the talks for United. Van Nistelrooy would, in these circumstances, have a total of 4 games in charge, as well as Leicester in the Carabao Cup, which of course he won last night. Adding in Chelsea in the Premier League, PAOK in the Europa League, and Leicester again in the Premier League. His long-term future at the club is not yet certain. He has said he is willing to work in any capacity Amorim sees fit. A week as United boss is at least an opportunity to enhance his CV as number one. We'll talk about Ruud's comments in just a bit. But it's looking like deal's been agreed. To be fair, over the last 12 hours or so, we've seen so many different journalists come out and say, yeah, like a deal's agreed. So Dave Brailsford, I don't know if you saw this video, outside Old Trafford last night, he's walking out. There's some fans going, can I have some autographs, can I have some pictures? And then one goes, is Amorim done? And he goes, yeah, it's done, mate. And
oh, did he?
yeah. So it's done. It's now just a case of, I suppose, waiting for an announcement from both Sporting and Manchester United, possibly as soon as today. And then they'll lay down the dates as to when he is going to start, and it looks like it's going to be in the November international break.
Yes, I like it. I like it. I like the plans. I like the swiftness of it. There's always going to be things where you can't just click your fingers in and the manager is just in your dugout. It just doesn't work like that mid-season. And we did speak about it a little while ago about, loyalty and, respect and dignity and stuff like that, and doing things in the right way and owning your decisions, which I liked how he carried himself in that presser the other day, saying that I'm always here to take responsibility for my decisions. I can't say too much yet, and just let the people work and let the finer details be done, and do what needs to be done. I think it is true. We've got a manager in Ruud van Nistelrooy for a few games. No one's going to expect. I think the key is that the 3 games left, PAOK and then Leicester again at home, both at home. They're nice games. Obviously, the Chelsea one is the next one, which is a big one. And actually, it's nice for Ruud to have a big home game. If that was like, away at Anfield or away at the Etihad or away at Arsenal, or, where you've got a high chance of losing anyway, just because of the shape we're in, it'd be unfair to sort of have it. But at least you can give him a sort of, it's at home, crowd up. Because if he wins that, I know you've got to be careful here. But if we beat Chelsea, you'd almost see PAOK and Leicester as a bit of a, not formality, dangerous word, but do you know what I mean? The momentum would be built so high. Yeah, that you're like, we'll
and
again, them just vibes.
It's still Chelsea, and you don't know. Like, if it was, say, it was City, Arsenal, or Liverpool, you'd be like,
how they're going to turn up.
Even if we do get a reaction, this one might be a bit tough for us. But it's because it's Chelsea, and had a good start to the season, but it's still like,
could be got at.
Yeah, he could win. He could still win that one.
Concede goals,
So. And then on the flip side, I did see people sort of saying, actually, if Amorim, because to be honest with you, it can't kind of change your opinion too much, because when it was like the reports coming out, United want him in the dugout as soon as Sunday, the natural reaction for everyone was, that is really fast. Not expecting it to be that fast. And then some rightfully so were sort of saying, some were sort of saying, actually, would you really want that to be your first game? Would you kind of, too quick? It's a big one. If it's a negative,
wouldn't have had any time with the team as well.
Exactly. Maybe Ipswich. And having an international break. Not that you're going to have the players that much in the international break.
That's going to be difficult though.
That will be challenging. But then, to be honest, this whole deal is just somewhat awkward. You don't always see that, with this whole mid-season change from one club to the other. Because the strange thing about this, he's still going to be managing Sporting for the next few weeks in big games, and it's like, but he's the Man United head coach. But then when I was thinking about how sort of odd that is, I think the only odd part of it is that it's mid-season and he'd be coming in November, because that does happen. I mean, with Erik ten Hag, right? It was like he was manager of Ajax for like,
a few more games,
for 3 more games, and he got announced in like April, didn't he? And it's like he's coming in May, and he had a few more games. So that's not totally out of normality, but that's at the end of the season, and you get this kind of cut-off point, and then
because it was the end, and it was on the way to winning the title. Just let me win this, obviously we went out there, we saw it, we witnessed it. Let me win this so that we can put a stop on it. But yeah, I think it does make it, I don't want to say like more exciting, but it is like, oh, there's an edge to this, because it's like there's some sporting games going on. So every single Man United, not every single Man United fan, but especially in our space, it's going to be like, I'm watching them.
That City one that everyone will be watching. That City one.
Watch along settings. Like,
I'm telling
Amorim
you.
watch.
I'm telling you, if Sporting beat Man City in that, the United fan base will collectively lose their shit.
100%. And don't get twisted. If they lose easily, even though that's meant to happen in football, because the two teams, all the rival fans will be like, this is the guy who's just got slapped 4-0 in his own backyard.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the story is there, and we can have a little bit of fun with that, and it's exciting to see. Because obviously you do want to, I know it's jumping in late if you haven't done it for ages, but you do kind of want to jump in there and have a look at Sporting under him. Now we've got the option to for a few games, and see how it goes. So I like how it's materialized very quickly. And I just think that's the quickest they could have done it. Just on the international break thing, obviously it does make it a little bit more difficult, because when he gets there, the players who don't go away on international duty, he'll have. So he'll have quite a few, because some of ours are either injured, coming back from injury, or don't always get in. But the ones who all do go, they always get back with 3 days to train as well. So those sometimes 3 days will be really. Sometimes Ugate's always one behind. Why is it that Leacher could make it back and from South? But
then I suppose Ugate's like doesn't matter. He's going to play in Amorim's. He's well adapted.
Played system, mate. It send him a WhatsApp say ready to go.
I know exactly. And that Mauro Ugarte, by the way, is the prime example. I remember just like a couple of weeks ago, I was doing one of these shows, and I was saying about Ugarte playing Ugarte. I'm getting some people saying he could be one of the worst signings ever for Manchester United. You know what I mean? And you go like, wait, you go pump the brakes. Like, he's played like once or twice and come on a couple of times, and now we're convinced he's the worst signing ever. And you go, that is when you go like, all right, got to let people, settle, and it's about the system, and it's about adaptation, not having a pre-season. He was, again, really, really good last night. A lot of people saying David Ornstein tweet, it's a repost of the Laurie Whitwell article that we just read out, by the way. Okay. Guys, it's the same thing. So it's not new Ornstein or anything like that. It's the same article from Laurie Whitwell, as we just mentioned. But yeah, so I'm excited for it. Like a kid at Christmas, I suppose, you get a bit impatient, you know what I mean? When you go, oh, God, wait 3 weeks now or something like that. But that's part of the thing of doing this in mid-season, which you have to also remember that, again, Ineos didn't necessarily want this scenario to happen. You know what I mean? I think their intention was that Erik ten Hag would last the whole season and it wouldn't completely go to shit, and they'd have to pivot and do something very quickly. But we find out where we are now.
Yeah. Is there any? Hold on 1 second. Was there any? Yeah, super chats here. Matthew says, Flex, please go watch Sporting versus Man City Champions League game. It will be in Portugal. Aminor says, Flex, will you travel to Sporting to watch them versus City?
Get those peri prawns, you know what I mean? So, or peel prawns, whatever.
Man, just come back from Portugal. Porto was bloody raining and miserable and foggy. No prawns, mate.
Yeah.
Will I go to that game? Everyone wants me. I don't know. When is it? Oh, it's just so busy. I don't know. I don't know, guys. And also, I don't want to judge it, guys, because you lot could just say, well, you did this last time. When is that game?
5th of November. It's a very quick turnaround.
Oh, bloody hell. When's that? Next week?
Next Tuesday.
No.
Next Tuesday.
I'm not going.
Yeah. Get your flights, hotel booked for Lisbon in what? No. Like, I know, 4 or 5 days time.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm not doing that. Maybe what we could do This is just a thought.
It is on the channel.
Maybe for the Flexing KG show
Yeah.
on Tuesday evening, maybe we could just do Amorim watch.
Yeah, do something like that.
That'll be better than me quickly having to book flights and hotel just so you guys can see me. Maybe that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So no, I'm not going to be going there. But thank you guys. There was something else I was going to say as you came to the end of that, Owen. I can't remember what it was. It's going to annoy me.
About Ugarte, about Amorim.
No. Oh no, sorry. Just before we keep moving on with the news, I wanted to ask you lot's opinion of what was happening. Excuse me, on TV, you and KG as well, and just the chat and what was going on after the game. Wasn't just a few people I interviewed. A lot of people around me, half time, full time, just people talking. Zirkzee, I'm not trying to.
No.
I just want to know. Even on the radio, I was hearing things. What was going on in the chat? What was everyone?
Yeah, the general consensus was he had an absolute stinker last night and not good. And even on commentary, they were sort of saying that, I think he completed less passes to his teammates than he gave the ball away last night. It wasn't good. It was not good. Okay. It's basically, that was the general consensus last night. And second or third minute of the game, and maybe this was a harbinger of things to come, but one of the Leicester players slipped and he was in. He was in. He was in. And he maybe did 3 or 4 strides when he was running. And next thing you knew, all the Leicester players were back. And it was like, oh wow, that was that was not great.
He's always a yard behind.
But then does that go back to I think it always circles back to what kind of player or striker is he? Because I don't know if I'm ever going to see Joshua Zirkzee running behind. I don't think he can do it. No. But the issue was last night is even when they were playing it to his feet, it felt like it was just bouncing off him, or it'd be like one good touch. You go, oh, I said it was Hubba Bubba reaction. Katie did Hubba Bubba reaction like 3 or 4 times to Joshua Zirkzee, which was good touch. No, it's given away. Like that. That's what happens so many times.
That was okay. I just wanted to see if it was the same in that, because when you're watching a game and you hear the oohs and the ahs and the groans and people next to you start going mad, you get it in your head more. You hyper focus on things. So I just wanted to see on TV, to you guys in the chat, what was his performance looking like, because the general consensus yesterday was like everyone pretty much done well, but then there was this caveat that like, but Zirkzee though, I'm not this, that, and the other, and like people were just kept saying like, he's not holding up the ball. People saying that he's knackered. He can't run.
He looked when he came off as well. When he came off for was it Højlund or Wheatley, whichever one he came off for. He looked 1 exhausted, but 2 he looked proper like dejected. You could tell like head was shoulders are a bit slumped, body language weren't great. So I think I asked a question a lot on the full-time view last night. Is he a player that's lacking in confidence, or is he a player that's lacking in quality? And you go, it's probably a bit of both at the moment. It's a bit of both.
I think he's a bit better than what we're seeing there.
Yeah.
But I'm not, my thoughts, like from what I've seen with the technicalities of him, the mechanics of him, the movement of him, how he is. I think if it's at his pace and he's got an island to take a touch and pass it out wide, or because he had a couple of shots in the second half. He started dropping off, won the ball back a couple of times. He grew into it probably like a little 5-10 minute spell in the second half before he came off. When we started making changes and then Højlund came on and he was able to play off Højlund a little bit.
Although Højlund came on and I swear he might not have touched the ball when he came on.
He did a couple of times. Well, actually twice. He started putting it over to the left-hand side.
Like it is one of those ones where you do see our strikers and you go, our strikers aren't great.
And that's what I mean. We don't have a top draw centre forward. We just don't have it. And that is a problem going forward. And it might be something that Amorim, again, everyone's talking about Gyökeres as well, as saying, bring him. You'll see like 26, I think, 27, middle age. Like you go in there, he's powerful, he's strong, focal point. You might want him, who knows? But I think eventually we will need. It's difficult because we've bought 2 project strikers, and under Eric, that's what we were saying we were going to do. But if you're trying to build something now, you have to have a goal scorer, at least one. Like we had one youngster to work on. We've then gone for Joshua Zirkzee, who isn't even a goal scorer. Like people keep talking about the style. So we've got one who's a young project striker in Højlund who can run in behind, and we want to be a high volume goal scorer. And then we've bought this other striker. His job's not to score. He just links up. Nah, not for me. Not for me. I don't. We're going to need to get. I guarantee you. We can already see it by the summer. We got to go and get another another.
No, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Like you said, if they go for a big name or they just go for let's see if we can get an experienced one in there just to help kind of support things.
Just someone who can do it now. Like, even if they're not, it doesn't have to be Victor Osimhen. It doesn't have to be, it could have been Ivan Toney playing in Saudi now. Still could, to be fair, after you never know.
Sometimes they come back, don't they?
Come back. And you know what? Fairly low cost. Well, I know you have to take the pay cut to come out of Saudi anyway. You could see that. You have a year out there, go, it was all right, but Man United need an experienced striker to help the other two get Tony in the summer. Might be on loan like St. Maximin. Didn't he go on loan?
I don't know in the end. What I do know, Flex, is that we've got over 2K watching. We're currently at just over 400 likes. We can easily get to 500, 750, maybe even 1K likes or something like that, perhaps.
Yes.
We've also got some more super chats, Flex, too.
Yes, let's do that. The objective says, bro, we have academy players better than Zirkzee. Well, V33 says Zirkzee plus 25, 35 mil for Gyökeres. Would you do it? Well, from what I've seen of Gyökeres / Zirkzee, yes. Jenksky says, do you think United were rude to Ten Hag last night? I like what you did there. PS says, can we get a Portuguese footy expert to talk about Amorim, his history, his tactics, and much more? You could even ask, does UV Paulo know about Amorim? We'll sort that. Big up to Paulo as well. I haven't seen him in a hot minute. But yes, don't worry. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. You wait there, guys. You know what we do here. WJ Barrett says, Zirkzee has player FC, but he looks dead to me. And WJ Barrett says, I think Rasmus will shock under Amorim.
Yeah. I do want to kind of actually we'll say what the Rude said after the game last night, because this kind of goes into the next part about, are the players snakes or not, Flex? Yeah. Which was what a lot of people were talking about last night. So as far as Rude and his future, he confirmed he wanted to stay at Manchester United. He said, I came here as an assistant to help the club. Now I'm in this role. I'm helping as long as needed. In the future, in any capacity, I'm here to help the club to further build towards the future. That's what I'm here for. He also said, I'm here to help and serve and give everything for the club in any capacity. With so many people here around me that want the best for the club. That will never change. He also then, talking about the game last night, said we scored some great goals. The first one was an absolute beauty from Casemiro. Indeed it was. And this is kind of, I guess, the perfect segue for this. He says 5 goals. But I have to say, the chances against West Ham and Fenerbahce, we created so many big chances and couldn't finish. All of a sudden, we had some luck on our side, and that made it a great day today.
Perfect.
And I agree with him totally with that one. Exactly. I saw a lot of stuff last night where people got sort of going, their players are snakes, now they can score goals, blah, blah, blah. I looked at that game, If you look at some of the goals we scored last night, you'll struggle to get some more luck in a game, in all honesty. Obviously, the Casemiro one, that is a brilliant goal. That is like
world class.
Casemiro special, whips it in the top corner. That is, instead of the pass, it was a shot. It's basically the same thing, right? So you go that one, all right, fair enough. The other goals, Dalot was probably offside. There's no VAR in that game, so it can't get overturned. The third, Bruno Fernandes hits a average free kick. The defender heads it into the goal. The fourth, Casemiro heads it. It bounces off one post and then the other, and then bounces back to Casemiro to hit it into an open goal, essentially. And then the fifth, it's a short pass that Bruno Fernandes can then run around the goalkeeper for, right? So I look at that and go, well, your luck's on your side. If you're Erik ten Hag, you're going, for that luck really wasn't on my side there. Yeah. Now, as far as, were some players maybe psychologically maybe running a bit harder, pressing it a bit harder? Maybe they got a point to prove. Maybe they didn't like Erik ten Hag. I don't know. But then you also have to take into account the level of the opposition. It's Leicester's reserves. We've been here. I remember last season when we played Palace reserves at Old Trafford in the same competition. Yeah, we won like 3-0. And we were like, see, look at this. This is Erik ten Hag ball. We went and lost the next game 1-0. All right. Exactly. The true test. The reason Erik ten Hag lost his job had nothing to do with really cup competitions. It was to do with domestically in the league. So that's where our bread and butter is. So we'll see on Sunday when it comes to that as well. And then just in general, the idea that they clearly they threw him under the bus. It's like, well, Rudy, you got the impression last night, a bit like Ollie when it was his first game there, when he probably just said to him, like, literally, guys, can go out. You're better than this lot here. Go out there, do what you do. I'm not going to overly tactic it up because I don't need to here. Get the crowd on your side. Go with that. So, and then with the idea of, well, it's clearly then because we won or scored last night, they were throwing the players under the bus. That frames up a narrative there where basically nothing that's happened in the last is Eric's fault. Yeah. Because if on Sunday we get pumped 3-0, it was the players were shit. If we win on Sunday, it was the players were throwing Eric under the bus at Snakes. So either way, it was never fault because either they're Snakes or they're shit. And I'm not saying that some of the players weren't maybe happy to see the back of Erik ten Hag. There might be that case, but very rarely, even in the last few weeks, I watch Man United play and go, "Oh, they're really not trying for Eric here. They're not running and they're not doing anything like that." So sometimes we also need to remember, as a manager, you meant to manage and get the best out of your players. If you can't get the best out of your players, then you're not doing your job properly, and you're going to end up losing your job. So I don't know. I just think it's a lazy narrative just to be like, oh, see, now they can score. Clearly, it was all throwing them under the bus.
Yeah, and the game last night, there doesn't need to be any over analysis of what we saw.
No,
every single thing you said, I agree with to an absolute T, because we created a lot of chances against West Ham. They just didn't score. And the goals that went in yesterday, like you said, a lot of them were so lucky, apart from the Casemiro one against Leicester's C team. It's just not a good judge of anything. And guess what? We all didn't think Erik ten Hag would be sacked on Monday morning. And we was all thinking, well, we got Leicester next.
We'll win.
Yeah. Even in our form that we was in just with Eric just then. That's not a true test, and you can't take anything from that game. And if I'm honestly honest, and again, I want to know what you guys think from watching at home and what the chat was saying, because it always feels like it's so different in person, right? I thought up until Casemiro scored, there wasn't players running around.
No, it wasn't hugely different. No.
I'll be honest, I would have expected there to be a little bit more emphasis on being on the front foot, getting the crowd involved nice and early, having some shots, get corners, front foot. I didn't see that. Now, I'm not trying to nitpick and be, again, because I'm not overanalyzing it. I'm just saying what I saw. So this whole thing of like the players all of a sudden clicked into gear yesterday and they were fantastic. They covered every blade of grass. Where's that been? That didn't look like that. That looked like that. Let's just be real. That looked like a game that could have been under Erik ten Hag. It did.
And Erik ten Hag, with that Leicester team that was playing, he would have won yesterday. It would have won yesterday. And again, a lot of the goals we scored last night were not like down to the players who were really trying. Like some of it, I said it was final destination football. When you're going, how the hell is some of this happening here? Ball bouncing off the post twice,
exactly, and then it happened for them as well.
Yeah,
it was just one of them nights in football where you just go,
yeah,
bloody hell, this is comical. Like everyone's just like, and you can say like, well, Casemiro never does that, never puts in the top. In his whole career, he's probably done that about twice. Like he's
like Bruno kicks the ball into like literally a player heads it in the opposite direction and it goes in, and it's when you just go like,
what can you do? You celebrate it, you get excited, you go, well, got a goal.
Who's the stake there?
Yeah. So this notion, I agree with you. This notion that they turned up last night and where has that been? That was like a copy and paste of any form of routine Carabao Cup game. Like you say, Palace last year was the same thing. You have a few different players, and it wasn't far off our bloody first teammate as well.
Yeah. Like, and let's get him behind.
Litton Martinez, Mazraoui Dalot, well, that's probably who's going to start against bloody Chelsea. Ugarte and Casemiro, probably going to start against Chelsea now. Let's bring back in Eriksen. Bruno, going to start against Chelsea. Wingers and Rashford and Garnacho, they're going to start against Chelsea. And Bayindir's not very good. So that's the only, and Zirkzee. So that, it's pretty much the same team that's going to play against Chelsea, guys. So let's not act like Rude done some amazing thing in the attack. Because like I said, the way the game started, I didn't see a change in formation. I didn't see a change in tactics, getting the ball forward even quicker, isolating players, overlaps. Oh, what's this? I don't recognize this. No, I looked at it and thought, Yeah, it's a bit flat actually. It's going through the motions. Like,
and you
okay.
notice what you can say about the players is what we already know is their ability to handle pressure and their mentality is rubbish, because when we were 4-2 up, 5-2 up, suddenly then they could pass the ball because there's no pressure on them at that point. So then they can do it. But again, that's no different, because when we play Barnsley and we're 5-0 up, 6-0 up in that game, they can pass the ball then because there's no pressure on them. That's no different to when Erik ten Hag or Ruud van Nistelrooy is there. So if you want to criticize the players, absolutely do it for that. Their mentality is rubbish. They can't handle pressure. But that was almost irrespective of who was in the dugout at the time. So the real indication will be at the weekend. And once again, if we do beat Chelsea at the weekend, then there is this sort of weird sort of anger.
They're waiting. Yeah. We wouldn't have beat them under Erik, so you're like, it's the players' fault.
That we want, so it's the players' fault. But then, like I said, either way, then that's then if none of it was Erik's fault, then he should still be here. But there's accountability in football, and if you don't get results, then you end up losing your job. So yeah, if we lose, it was I told you the players are shit. If we win, the players are snakes. Like that is way oversimplifying. Something as complex as managing people. You have to remember at the end of the day, you're managing people and trying to get the best out of people. And as we've seen under when Ollie was the interim before he was permanent, sometimes it's not even necessarily about like the tactics or how good of a manager you are or anything like that. Sometimes if you can lift the spirits, you might get 10% more out of them and that might win a game. That's it.
Ashodu says, Flex, you didn't see more confidence and high spirits? Question mark. Not like I just saw a very a very strong United 11 take care of a Leicester City team. Like, that's all I saw. Like, I didn't see running the extra mile. I didn't see they're playing with the shackles off all of a sudden. I just saw what I probably would have saw if Erik was still here in this particular game. That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm happy we won. I'm happy there was loads of goals. I'm happy. But I'm just saying, Ash, like, I don't think we should overanalyze one way or the other. We shouldn't overanalyze to start going, look, Ruud's got 5 goals in his first. Look what he looked, because we weren't scoring as free flowing as that before. Ruud's alluding to it himself. He was like, we're against Fenerbahce and particularly West Ham, we created a lorry load of like
that's mean you can't talk out both sides of your mouth, can you?
Right? And now when they start going, even he's saying bloody lucky today, like that. Apart from the Casemiro one, he said beauty, and then after that, it's like we just had luck on our side.
Yeah, a bit of luck, and also the people that advocate for Ten Hag to stay were saying about how well we did play in the first half against West Ham. So they weren't snakes then when they were playing well.
Second half then, whose fault was that then?
You know what I mean? So but you can't pick and choose when these players are snakes. That's how lazy the argument is.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, they were snakes they weren't snakes they were snakes when they missed. But for the rest of the play, when we played, they said we were playing really well. Again, that had nothing to do with the players. That was all Erik. That's why that argument is just so flawed. Or if we win at the weekend, see, snakes. Go,
yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Uncle says, Tony, 3 goals in Saudi, Mitrovic 10. Forget Tony. WJ Barrett says, has Erik ten Hag ever started that too? That was huge for me. Do you mean Ugarte and Casemiro? He started them against Barnsley, didn't he?
I mean, this was what was interesting as well, actually, for me. Before kickoff, it kind of got, I think, overplayed quite a bit, because it came out that, it was going to be a 4-4-2. And then was, I see Ruud's change shape. And then you had to kind of take a step back and go, well, actually, Erik in his last few games was playing a 4-4-2, wasn't he? We were talking about that. Certainly out of possession. On paper, when it comes out, it still looks like the 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
But it's Bruno alongside whoever's playing a striker. Last night was Zirkzee. Previously, it's been Højlund. So actually, once again, when we're saying about actually there's not much that different, shape was the same.
Rashford was still on the right. It's not like Ruud went,
struggling
now, you just get back. He went, no, we'll just keep it the same. He just kept.
Bleacher was playing left back, which is what we've seen the last 2 or 3 games, really, So there wasn't, and that's why we say, well, actually, if you just swapped out the managers and it was Erik ten Hag, it would have been probably the same.
And Erik would have gone strong as well, by the way.
Of course,
he showed us that in every single cup game he ever played.
Always did in cup. So
quickly, Spurs away.
Yeah, Amorim seemingly will be in charge for that December.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
Interesting, isn't it? Interesting.
As soon as I saw that, I just obviously thinking of the characters, thinking of the story.
Thinking of Flexpression is going to come back out.
The expressions, the alter ego is going to have to come out.
Yeah.
If we lose, these types of big. What's annoying is that we got to go there twice in this new era, but hopefully we'll be a new look team by then. Hopefully we got something about us. And if we go there, there's just so many things in my head I'm thinking ahead of. I'm just like,
honestly, that if you look at our fixtures actually in December, we've got some fucking massive games in December. That's why I suppose it's really important that Amorim is in by that point, because 1st of December, you got Everton at home, then Arsenal away, Forest at home, enter given, given how they're playing the season, Victoria Pilsen in Europa League, then Man City away, 2 days later, Spurs, EFL Cup quarter-final, Bournemouth at home on the 21st, Wolves Boxing Day, and Newcastle at home on the 30th, and then the first game of the new year, Liverpool away. Yeah. So like that like 4 or 5 week period has some huge games. Arsenal away, City away, Spurs away, Newcastle at home, Liverpool away. And by the way, and this is when it also goes back to previous records. No disrespect, but Erik ten Hag, if I'm looking at those away games, I'm thinking, holy shit, we're not winning a single one.
I think that will be what's really important, right? And we have to manage expectations because Amorim's new. And, now, because we've started the cycle again, I'm not saying it's okay to lose at those big grounds, but with how we are versus them teams and a whole new manager coming with whole new ideas, essentially, depending on how quickly he can make us better, we are on the back foot because you're coming in halfway through. But what we have seen, though, and this is what we shouldn't be as scared to think, that actually it could get better really quickly. We could actually go to Arsenal and, be in the game. And if we did lose, it's like, well, that was a flipping good game. I tell you what, they were organised. That was just good from Saka or something. Or we got a draw, or something like that. Or, better still, we win some of it. If he could get one big away win quickly, because we just didn't get it under Eric at all, did we?
No. The biggest away win was against that Villa away. That was the biggest away win.
So we didn't beat City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea away.
No.
Didn't we beat Chelsea away?
No, drew.
Oh, yeah, drew twice.
Yeah. Also, just a bit of an update. Fabrizio Romano has just tweeted essentially the same thing that Jason Burt and Laurie Whitwell wrote this morning, which is
engagement farming.
Ruben Amorim can be considered new Man United manager, confirmed. The Portuguese coach will start as the new Manchester United in the new Manchester United chapter during the international break. Documents to be signed this week. Contract until 2027. Sporting receive the €10 million clause plus €1 million for staff / 30 days notice, which basically, like we said earlier on, it's the same.
From when he done Here We Go on the 29th, it's you never look back from then.
Exactly.
A Here We Go from Romano means it don't matter what happens from here on out, when it gets signed, when it does this, said player or said manager or said coaching staff or whatever it is, whatever the Here We Go is means it's happening.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you think, by the way, looking at those games in December, do you think that also went into Ineos's thinking of like, we have got some massive games coming up, and in this trajectory, looking also at this previous sample size, we ain't winning them. Like we've got to do something. We've got to 100%. Change.
Well, we were within our rights. Look, as fans, again, you can talk about whether people, because of it was the players or Ten Hag or whatever, that the argument you were saying earlier, which was very valid. But as fans, we would all have agreed that going to the Emirates, going to the Etihad, going to Chelsea, going to Liverpool, and all these types of games. Even where we were in the Europa League, mate, 3 points in the 3 games. And it's like, I know the easier bats were coming, but we kept saying that with the Premier League games. I'll tell you what, this is the run. I'll tell you what, on paper, should do all right. And we were shit in these games, mate. Absolutely shit. So 100%, I think Ineos would have looked at it. It's just because it's less to do with this performance. This individual performance was so bad against West Ham, you have lost it all. No, it was less to do with that and the fact that they have ended up losing. Unfortunately, it weren't your fault this time, Eric, but that does leave us in 14th. And with the games that we've got coming now, and overall, it's just
we know where this is going.
And we can't. We've got to pull the plug. They know they should have done it in the last international break, but really what this shows us is they basically did do it in the last international break. They did. They'd done the due diligence. Because there's no way this can all happen this fast. They haven't just plucked Amorim out the sky and all of a sudden it's the first contact they've ever had.
Yeah, they got out their Rolodex and went, Amorim. I forgot. Where's Lisbon's number? I got it in here somewhere.
Bring him now. Omar, didn't you say they wanted him at a thing? Have you got it?
City?
Can you log into your old
Yeah, I got it in my old notebook here, actually.
Yeah. So there's no way they did that. And with what I'm sure when I was on with Ben Jacobs, he said, I think it was October the 8th, I want to say. I can't remember if I read that correctly, but Dave Brailsford went out there.
Yeah, well, they're suggesting as well that they spoke in the summer, didn't they? I think Laurie Whitworth said they actually spoke to him in the summer, and it was a case of they went, well, it's probably not right now, because also Amorim was like, I don't want to leave yet, and his release clause was higher a few months ago than it is right now as well. So
in that October half term,
he was on school, you know what I mean?
Working in education 9 years, half term still there, because I know it's half term now, or it just was. In the October international break, they were putting things in place because they were going, the way this is going, it's not going to be great. And let's be honest, after that, what did we do? We went to, was Porto after the international break?
It was Brentford, Fenerbahce, and then the game against West Ham.
Right, and we beat Brentford and then we effed it.
It was comfortable. It was comfortable against Brentford, wasn't it?
What happened in that game again? They didn't really, apart from the pinnacle goal, they didn't really do anything. Yeah, okay, give us that. And we were like, good, 3 points, that feels good.
But we know what's coming.
And Fenerbahce, look what happened. And then for hook or by crook, not Eric's fault, whatever you want to call it, can try and wipe it off the thing because it doesn't count, but it does. We lost against West Ham. So a poor West Ham.
Sky Sports, they're going with the same stuff now as well. So they've just said in Sky Sports News, Ruben Amorim is expected to be officially confirmed as Manchester United new manager today and will start during the international break. So basically, I think everyone's been told that there's going to be some form of announcement today. I would think, maybe I'm wrong, Flex, but the last announcement with Eric came at midday. I think probably around midday we might be hearing something. From Manchester United.
Yeah. I thought this was interesting as well. Hans Craig Jr. is a former footballer who played with Eric Ten Hag on how Ten Hag feels after being sacked by Man United. This is what he had to say. I understand that he's getting 17 million euros, and then people say he will go somersaulting through Manchester. No, he is completely devastated. He is completely ruined. Wow, strong words. Someone who knows Eric Ten Hag quite well, apparently.
That's the last bit there, isn't it? Apparently, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Completely ruined
with 17 million up, and will back himself to go and do what he needs to do.
Yeah, back home in the Netherlands,
Yeah, I wonder where he will go there. Wonder what he will do.
This is what I was also say about it as well. Is I'm sure where he goes next, he will be successful. You know what I mean? I've got no doubts about that. And because I don't think it's a case of a bit of bad coach, I just think it's a case of wrong place, wrong time, didn't work out. You're not the first, won't be the last. It's like the same way that some managers go to Real Madrid, don't succeed, don't make them terrible.
No, it just
sometimes it happens. Yeah.
Peeps, we've got 711 likes. I'd really like us to get to 1K, guys. There's so much excitement.
We can do it.
We can do it. We didn't do it yesterday, just short, because to be fair, we probably forgot to keep pushing it, with you. But please,
you can do it.
You can do it. Get us to 1K likes. Super chat here. From Jay Rose says it's funny people putting the win down to new manager bounce. When Eric Ten Hag was new, he lost his first game 2-1 and 4-0. And
I was in the league as well.
In the league, and our new manager's not here as well.
No, exactly.
Rude's that we can't really. This next, how many games got? 3 in it. 3 more.
Yeah, 3.
This next 3 games. This is just for us to enjoy. Give Rude a nice reception, and I really like actually going back to what he said. It is really nice to hear how he speaks about us. There's no ego involved there at all. There's no, obviously he knows that Ruben Amorim's coming in, so it's not a case of I've got an audition vibe going on, but just even coming out and saying and making it very clear to us fans, because he's a legend to us and at the football club, that, I just want to do whatever's best for this football club and serve this football club well. And we all want to see it do well. And in any capacity, I can help do that. If they want me to stay in a different capacity, I will, if they want me to leave, whatever's best for this football club. And it's really nice to hear. And look, not selfish, but the sentimental part of me would love for Rue to still have a place.
Well, he's maybe auditioning to an extent, isn't he? Like you said, not for the top job, but
as a number one to take him seriously. And
well, a couple of things, isn't it? You may be auditioning for Amorim of going, if you've got anything for me, I can stick around. If not, it's a bit like the Michael Carrick thing where he was here for 3 games, didn't lose. Sirens in the chat, didn't lose at all. And he's at Middlesbrough now. And if Rue does do well, then if a Premier League club sacks their manager and they go, I'll tell you what, actually, I saw Rude earlier on this season. If you're a coach here that's just fresh in the minds of chairmen and sporting directors, you know what I mean? Then sometimes that's how it is. They were only managing this club a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago. He was linked to the Burnley job in the summer. Maybe it's a bit higher than that now. Maybe he goes somewhere else. Maybe he goes abroad. Who knows what he could do? But if he gets results just for his career, that will do him well, because people will see it and they'll be like, oh, actually,
something's there. And again, I'm convinced that, well, it's difficult to say Premier League because obviously he was tipped for the Burnley job, turned it down, and Scott Parker took it. But there's a job out there for him in England for sure. And you never know. One of the Premier League teams that are struggling might take a risk on him. Now, it would be a risk in terms of securing your Premier League status when you don't know what Rude's like. That's probably a big gamble. But top end of the Championship, jobs become available in Championship all the time. It's probably the fastest moving league in England. It's insane, the Championship. So many games, so many difference. Like not much between like sort of top, middle, and bottom. Like things just change weekly there. So there's a high turnover of managers there.
Did you see the Plymouth result? I think it was last weekend with Wayne Rooney when they were like 3-0 down. Yeah, got back 3-3. Honestly, and it's not the first time they've had late drama this season with Plymouth. Like,
they didn't lose.
Some of their results, recently have been crazy. They played when they played. Was it Sunderland? I think they beat them, and it was like 2 late goals. It was against Preston. They were 3-0 down after 48 minutes. Yeah, and they got it back 3-3. They scored in the 92nd minute. Like madness, madness.
Rooney.
They're 21st. I mean, they're not doing amazing or whatever, but
yeah, it's hard to be a top level manager. Like I hope obviously Rooney.
And I still think, he's probably not it as the manager. You know what I mean, Wayne Rooney. But
Andy says, Flex, you're a melt. Snakes FC, and you're smiling in vid. Thank you for.
Is Andy a United fan? Has that been established?
I think so. Yeah, I think he supports United. Don't support me.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was a United fan or just maybe Andy. You can let us know if he was a United fan or just a Flex hater.
Yes. Dan Baker says, "Big up UV Flex. Are you going to be at Everton on the 1st of December? Me and 3 friends are going to our first game at OT. Well, big up to you and your friends going to your first game, and I will be there. And that is the day before my birthday.
There you go.
Interesting. And then we got Arsenal a couple of days later. So could be a really good week for me, or could be a really bad one, or could be mixed.
Speaking of birthdays as well, Sunday for the game against Chelsea, it's KG the comedian's birthday. He is 40 years of age on that day. On that day, me and KG, of course, will be on the match view. I'm going to put a phone call into Josh and say, can you make it a party themed graphics or something like that? I'll get some party hats. Last time we did the match view, it was KG's birthday. I bought party hats to the studio. They were very small and they were terrible. Is
that the one? When did the ones when I bought him the cake mix?
Well, we were actually talking about this yesterday because his birthday keeps falling. Obviously around these games. So like the first one was when you gave him the cake mix. And do you know when that was? I believe it was Young Boys. And that was the one where you went, it's over 1-1. And then it was like last minute, they fucking scored. That was then.
Oh,
year later is when we were playing Sociedad away and there was a game. That one. Cool. And that's where I got the hats. I don't know what it was last year, what game that was.
Was he not here?
It might have been.
Go
I
somewhere.
have a feeling that he wasn't here this
I
time
think he
last
went
year.
away. I think he went away because it was his birthday somewhere.
Something like that. Yeah,
And we probably lost as well. So
yeah, he left the country.
Yeah.
But Sunday,
like
it will be his
Newcastle in my head or something.
it will be his birthday, and we'll be on the match view together.
Oh God, I wonder how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
So yes, Dan, to answer your question, I will be there. So big up to you. Someone said, Flex, how are you? Are you calm now or something? Because yeah, honestly, that DR thing with the animals.
I didn't see it. I just saw when I was getting stuff set up this morning, and I was logging on to our YouTube. I just saw a picture of like you like this, and yeah, that's no.
Would you do that? What are you like with animals? Like, what are you like?
Well, did they ever when you were at school? Did they ever do that when someone comes in with some animals? Did that ever happen?
It's basically like it was basically like that.
Yeah, they did that. No, not a chance. Not a chance. You know, when they sort of bring out some. When I was at school, they did it with like spiders, and scorpions, and snakes. I wouldn't do it. The best thing that ever happened with that is they had like some kind of bird. And they were like, "Yeah, you go to the other side of the room and put your hand out, put the glove on, and then a bird will come over." And the bird came over and it just pooed all the way down this girl, and it was hilarious. It was, memories. That was fun. Never work with animals and children, ever.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm an advocate for working with young people, so I can't say that I did that for 10 years.
Never,
but Owen definitely has not got the patience for that, and you do need the patience of a saints to work with probably animals and children as well. So yeah, but anyone who wants to get into teaching and working with young people, I would highly recommend it. It's very rewarding. Don't speak to Owen about it, but
I hated school.
Peeps, big up to yourselves. Smash a like on the video. There's one more super chat here, or members chat, should I say, from Splashnet, who's a free agent now. It says KG will be 4G on Sunday.
I like that. That's good.
Like
yeah,
4G, 100%. Right, guys, on the way out, where are we at actually? Where did we get to? We got to 840. Come on, peeps. Come on. On the way out, literally. Get us to that 1K. I'm even doing the outro extra slow so that it gives you a chance to just go, actually, this has been a sick show. I'm excited with what's going on at Man United right now. I'm happy because we won last night. We've got goals galore. Let me just get my phone, swipe up, hit like, or let me just on my browser, on my tablet, wherever it is, you can right now just go like.
Well, and while they're doing that, while they're clicking the like button, because there's still over 2K watching, so it's not even that many. Only 130 to go at this point, less than 130 to go. Whilst you're there, when you click subscribe, or even if you are subscribed, click the notifications, because most likely we're probably going to be live again today at some point with a Ruben Amorim has been announced video or something like that, right? So if you have your notifications turned on, then you'll be notified if and when that does happen. I don't know whether today or if it's tomorrow, but Ruud van Nistelrooy is set to talk to the media for a press conference today or tomorrow as well. So when that happens, but live for that too. And we got, I think, What the Devil coming up later today as well, Flex. Some would say it's all going off. I believe someone said that once. I can't remember who.
There's been so many iconic moments already in it, like just with United View, and just it's just mad the way that things just the way they just happen. I remember just sitting in the thing in this, and it was honestly, you had to be there to be like it. But it was just carnage, because I remember getting
red cards.
I remember our heads just getting basically punched off by Fulham. I was like, they are mashing us up. They were 1-0 up. Could have been 2 or 3. I'm just like, look at us. Again, this is in the Eric era, by the way. And it's another game you remember where you go, fucking, we're just so shit. Look what Fulham are doing to us. And just this red mist. Just
1 red card, 2 red cards. It's like, was it Sesame Street? 1 red card. 2 red card. And there's the third one. And then Flex is like, I think if you go onto our shorts, I think it's on there somewhere. Flex is going, red card. He's tilting his out at the same time. Red card.
I did that against Fenerbahce as well. When Jose was getting sent off, I had my little selfie stick with my mic. I was going, I think someone's been sent off. I don't know what, it was proper Cammy-esque. I'm going, it's kicking off the fan. I don't even know if you guys can hear me right now. It's that loud. There's whistles going off. I think it's Jose. It is Jose. He's been sent off. Wow. I can't. I think there's a penalty. I think it's Ugarte. I've seen it. Ugarte. I think it could be. I don't know. I don't. You know what? When you just live the emotion of football, it is amazing. It is amazing. It is. Yeah. But yeah, there you go. Hopefully we get more moments like that for the better under Ruben Amorim. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right, guys, we're just shy of 1K. I let you off. You guys can do it. About 45 away. Come on, you guys can make it happen. Take care, guys. We're out of here. See you soon. Breaking news, probably.
And I'll press the Halloween intro on the way out as well.
Halloween intro on the way out as well. Enjoy your Halloween if you're going trick-or-treating with the youngsters or adults because you just haven't grown out of it and want to get free sweets.
Just buy some sweets. Don't need to go.
Yeah, exactly. Enjoy. Take care, peeps. Bye.